And I've got this huge shadow over here that I didn't have before, and I don't know why. Nick, are you listening?
I hear you. I'm not looking at it right this second, but yeah, I don't know what's up.
Over here. Didn't used to have it. Just waiting on some peoples.
Maybe
Yeah. I'm squishing things. That's what I'm doing. There we go, I guess.
oh, I never got it restarted after the updates, apparently.
Hello and welcome. I am just trying to straighten my desk off a little bit, table. So what we're doing is, let me turn my box over. We're going to alter this instant ink box. I got the camera kind of low. We're going to need to cut the flaps off and these little flaps off. And it gives you a place to store like anything you make for a journal, tags, envelopes, ephemera pieces, all of that stuff. As long as it's small enough to fit in here. And let me raise the camera up. Just, oh, hang on. Sorry. Nick, are you on here? My tripod came apart. Okay, we are good. No, now it says rotate device. Hang on just a second. Now you see all the mess on my table. I try to keep that hidden from view. Okay, I think that's good. We got rid of the shadows too. Anyway, at least I'm not hitting the camera with the box. Hi, Marina. Okay, that's fine. Thank you for coming. I'll wait for you to come back unless somebody else comes in. So, that's going to be for embellishing. I'm just going to put those over there. Hi and welcome. Thank you for coming. Marina will be right back. We're altering an instant ink box. I figure other people probably get these boxes with their instant ink and have them just sitting around, not doing anything. Now, I'm not going to flip this one over, but we do need to get rid of the flaps on the box. All these little flaps get cut off. I'm going to set that one aside. This one I was able to pull all the labeling off of. And I've already cut the flaps. Pulled off the address labels. I have two Dollar Tree magnets, and I have verified that they will work and close the lid, hold the lid shut. So I'm going to put one here, and it's not going to be this color because it doesn't match. And I'm going to put the other one on the inside here. But we're going to paint it and we're going to decorate it with a napkin. You can also use paper. And I'm going to gesso it first. So let me get some wax paper. I always forget the wax paper. And I use enough of it, I shouldn't forget it. So what we're going to do is we are going to gesso first. Clean my brush off real good. And if you don't have gesso, I use homemade gesso, but if you don't have it, you can use white paint. And this is just so my napkin has something to be against besides brown cardboard with blue dots. And hopefully it will cover up all of the blue dots. And I've seen other people do altered boxes. I've never altered a box before. So this is the first. Yeah, there's nothing on that side. I can lay it down. It's a first for me. And I'm using homemade gesso. It's just glue, white paint, water, and baby powder. And it smells really good. I'm going to keep the flat front side. And I already painted the bottom. Because I also want to paint the inside of my box. Okay. I just grabbed it. Let's do this. And I did white paint on. Now I can paint this other side over here. And this also gives it some, a tooth for everything to hang on to it. So I can get all of the outside done. And it won't take it long to dry. And I cut the napkin, but I also cut off some of the corner parts for embellishment purposes. And it's a really pretty napkin. And I verified it would measure and go around the box. It's not going to go on the inside, but I'm going to paint the inside purple after I gesso it, because my purple tends to be a little translucent. But we can't gesso the inside until this dries. So we get to chat for a minute, though, while we're waiting on this to dry. And when Miss Marina comes back, I'll explain to her and get her caught up with what we've done. Another thing that this box would be good for is I saw, and Marina was making an altered, a box with a journal in it. This would make a really cute little journal box. If you had a mini journal, you could put a mini journal in here, make a great presentation box. So there's all kind of different things we can do with these HP ink boxes. And it's sticking to my wax paper. So now we can't really do anything until this dries. I'm going to go back over this part here. And my lights are going to help it dry pretty quickly, so that's a good thing, because the lights get hot. I just don't want to see the blue dots, because I don't want those to show through my napkin. And I lost a person. So now we just have to wait on it to dry. But then I also found a box that these boxes will fit into and will act like I can make like little drawers and have different ones for different things. So while that's drying, I'm going to go ahead and cut the flaps off this other box because we don't need the flaps. Although they could use to make tuck spots or something. It's good corrugated. So, let's see. Now the other little box is ready, except it still has all the labels on it, so I'm going to pull those off while we're waiting on the box to dry. And all the labeling just came off really easy. I was surprised it didn't rip the box or anything. But I keep, when I'm making embellishments for my journals, I keep not having a place to store them. So I thought this would be a great idea, and it gives me a place to put the little paper clip beads and tags and page decorations and those kind of things all in one place. Or if you make like the little drawer system, you could have tags in one, paper clip beads in one. You know, you could have a bunch of different things that you make, envelopes, tuck spots, in different boxes. So like you could have undecorated items, like if you make envelopes and stuff out of coffee dyed paper, or even if you make it out of paper pad paper, once you get them made, you would have a place to put them. So this is the Instant Ink box. I cut the flaps off. I pulled all of the packing information off the bottom, all of the stickers, and they just peeled right off. No problem. And now I'm gessoed it because I want to apply a napkin to it. And we were just waiting for gesso to dry, and I see some more people came in. Thank you for coming. So we're altering the HP Instant Ink box because I figure if you're in the States, a lot of people have this subscription service for the HP ink. And we all have these boxes. And this gives us something to do with our boxes. I'm just going to bend this so it doesn't dry weird, because I need it to be still flexible and bendable. Oh, can I set it on that side? Is that dry? That side is dry, but I see blue. So let me fix that, because I don't want to see the blue dots, because I'm afraid they're going to show through my napkin. So I'm just going to paint it again so my napkin has a nice white surface. And this is just made gesso. There we go. And it looks like we're going to have some blue spots show up on the top. So I'm just trying to give it a nice coating so that the blue is obliterated. And I did think about putting some book paper down under the napkin. And we may move our box out of the way and just look and see how that looks. How are y'all today? Marina was walking her dog, so she was going to be back in a minute. I'm going to paint the inside of my box purple because it'll match the napkin. But we're not to that point yet. Now, if I can keep my napkin from getting paint on it. This is the napkin that we're going to use, and it's very pretty. And let's see, where did my book paper go that I had out? I bought a book, and the pages in it are very brittle. So they're not good for anything except like underlayment. But look how pretty. Oh, see, they're just breaking off. That's why they're only good for underlayment. But it's really a pretty color. So I was thinking about putting some of that under the napkin. Oh, that would be pretty under there. I don't know that it's really going to show up, though. But the pages are very fragile. So they're really only, and I bought it for the cover of the book. But these pages can be used for underlayment. So you would need a box. I have 2 Dollar Tree magnets that will work. The one on the outside is not going to stay this pretty blue color because it doesn't match our box. So we're going to fix that. I could fix that now. The one on the inside, I'm not worried about. This one, I'm going to use this Lumiere paint. If I can get it to come out. It's almost empty. And it's a metallic purple. And it will stick to anything. Wrong brush. There we go. So I can go on and get this painted while we wait on the box to dry. And it's a nice, pretty metallic color. It's a very pretty purple. I just want it to cover it and not all stipple. Because brushing it seems to be removing more paint than I'm putting on. And let me turn my bottle upside down so I can get more paint out of it. Once this dries, I'll put a brush coat over top of it. This will just give it some texture. There we go. That's good for now. And then I'll make a pretty drawer pull or lift knob when we get there. So I know Marina's here. Who else is here with us today? And I'm still working on the embellishment kits for the Etsy store, as well as everything else. My brain, I 50 million things go through my head at once. But I'm still working on my embellishments for the Etsy store. I know I had people that wanted purple. My plan was to make some purple, some pink, some red, some yellow. Purple, pink, red, yellow, and some peach color, light orangish peachy color. So that covers pretty much every color we would use, and blue, if I can find enough light blue stuff. So I cut out tags the other day and stuff for those. I got all my printing done for those to go in the store. So that's what I'm going to do probably over the weekend. I'm still going live on Saturday, though. And I need to bend my box again. I don't want the lid. I don't want my paint to crack. And I want it to still stay bendable. So just going to bend it. We may get the heat tool out. It's plugged in to dry this faster. Thought it would dry pretty quick. But it's taking a minute. And I cut these 2 corner flowers off of the napkin because I'm going to use them for an embellishment on the top. The napkin still fits the box without those. So I wasn't worried about that. Hi, Gloria. How are you? And thank you for coming. You love the pansies? They are so pretty. That napkin came in Happy Meal from Tanya, but she gets all her napkins from AliExpress. So I'm pretty sure if you go to Ali and type in like pansy napkin, it would probably come up. Thank you so much for coming. And Marina was going to come back. She had to go walk her dog real fast. So we're just in the process of altering our HP Instant Ink box. Do you do the Instant Ink thing, Gloria? Collection of napkins. I know. I love napkins. And they can be used for so many different things. I mean, I use them to make book covers. I use them to embellish envelopes, embellish pages. I'm going to use it to decorate this whole box and then seal it. And I'll have a really pretty box. And I've already got another one all ready to go. That's one I was showing at the beginning. And I just cut the flaps off because we don't need we just need $2 tree magnets. You get 6 of them, I think, for $1 in the little package. And I painted this one purple because it's going to be on the outside of the box. I'm not worried about the one that's going to be on the front of the inside of the box being changed color because we're not going to see that one. So, but I just run out of places to put things as I'm making them. For my journals, like I know I'm making the sunflower journal. So the other day when we were here, oh wow, I bet those Santa ones are gorgeous. So when I was making the ornaments out of polymer clay, I made some sunflowers out of polymer clay, but I don't really have a place to put them. So a box like this will come in handy as I'm making tags, as I'm making paper clip beads or embellishments to put those things in. If I had a sunflower napkin, I would have decorated it with sunflowers. But anything can go in here, any kind of an embellishment. And I'm going to bend it again so that my paint doesn't crack under my napkin. It's almost dry. I bet the Santa ones are really gorgeous. See, that's me. And this is something small. Here's what I've been using. This is horrible. This has got all kind of embellishment things in it. Here it comes flying across. It's a little, Rubbermaid bowl, but it only has so many of these. And this one's got some tissue paper stampings in it. It's got our polymer clay things in it. It's got some little envelope tuck spot things I was working on in it. The sunflowers. And see, I just need something better to put stuff in. And I get the Instant Ink boxes free every month. They send me Instant Ink, sometimes twice a month, depending on how much I print. And instead of throwing them away, figure out a way to reuse them. I need to put gesso here. We'll do that after this dries. You got those at Tuesday morning? I'll have to check them out. See, that's me. I like having everything in a spot, but my problem is, here's my big dilemma. Our house is 720 square feet. Nick, how big is the house? Without the deck?
680 square feet.
He says 680. I'm going to stick with the 720. Hi, Dana. Thank you for coming. We're waiting on our box to dry. And there's really limited room in a 720 square foot house where you can put stuff. So that's why I'm out of room. My house ain't big enough. Maybe I should just get a bigger house. I'm joking, y'all. That's not happening. That's not going to happen. Hi, Sherry. Thank you for coming. We have got the box gessoed and I'm waiting on it to dry. I keep bending it so that my paint don't crack or the gesso won't crack. Apply a napkin next. And I realized I need to gesso these. Is the bottom dry? The bottom is dry, so I'm going to turn it up. And I'm going to gesso this right here real fast so that everything's white under the napkin. That's overkill. Because I am going to put a napkin on it. I love my napkins. And the inside, I'm just going to paint purple, so I'm not really all that worried about what the inside looks like. I just wanted to make sure that where the napkin's going to be, it's all coated. And we have the blue dots on the outside, and I wanted to cover those up. Let me... And they put some washi over this edge. I don't like how that looks. Or wrap the napkin over. That's an idea. Because of the corrugated. But that's good for now. This is going to be an embellishment box, Sherry. When I'm making all the embellishments that I make for my journals and everything, I really don't have a place to store them. So I get HP Instant Ink. And they send me these free boxes with my ink in them. And so I kept looking at them thinking, well, number one, it would be great to put a small journal in here and send it. So if you make small journals, this would be a good box for that. But I also was thinking, you know what? I could put my embellishments in here. I could put any envelopes or tags or things like that once they're made and store them in here. And then when I'm ready to do my journal, I have my little bit box or embellishment box to go through. Thank you, Dana. Oh, good, Marina. I'm glad you got that. Thank you, Sherry. So, Marina, while you were gone, I gessoed the box, and I just gessoed these top edges. We've cut the flaps off the box because I don't need the flaps because it's going to have a magnet closure. The Dollar Tree magnets will work. I've already tested them. So, Dollar Tree magnets, a free box, and napkin, paper, or napkin, and some gesso. So, and paint for the inside of the box. So I'm just waiting on this to dry. And the cool thing about the magnet, once it's glued on, which I will be using E6000 to glue this on to the front of the box and the inside, it will act like a little knob. So we can pull it open with our little knob because they're raised a little bit. They're not completely flat. And I just painted this one purple because blue does not match our napkin. So, just waiting on my box to dry. And I may get out the heat gun. Where did I put the heat gun? Ouch. Those lights get very hot. Here's the heat gun. And it should be plugged in. Nick, turn that down, please. You're going to make an echo. Okay. Let's do the heat gun on here. Okay, Dana. They're really cool magnets. My husband, our Dollar Tree that doesn't usually have anything, had the magnets. Okay. So it's just a little box for me to store stuff in. And I've got places I can put little boxes, just not anything big. Because all that's taken up with other stuff at this point. Let me bend that again. I think we're about dry. Oops. So we can move on to the next step of the project, which is going to be the napkin. And so I think I'm going to start it on the front edge and come back around to the other front edge. But I want to center it. And once I have it glued down, I'm going to come back with an X-Acto knife or craft knife and cut. And we weren't quite dry right there. That'll be good. Yep. Okay. So what I do to adhere my napkins down, and it's a temporary holding method, glue stick. Hi, everybody who joined. Thank you for coming. This just holds it temporarily until I can get a coat of sealer over top of it. So this is just a temporary measure. And I'm only going to do this part right now. And then I will put the napkin on here. I don't want to warp the lid, so. And then I'll do the rest, or piece by piece. So I can try to eliminate wrinkles as possible. Okay, so, and there doesn't look to be any glue there. Go back down the edges one time. Okay. Trying to see where my box is. I think that's good. And if we need to, if you're very careful, you can pull it up because I have air pockets that I'm not happy with. So I'm going to pull it up. Smooth it down. And I had the craft knife earlier. Over here. And maybe it's on the other table. Nick, see if the craft knife that's silver handled is on that table over there by where I was sitting. I want to go in and cut this line here. Just for ease of use.
This one?
Yes, please. And I'm not worried about the wrinkles. That just adds character to our box. So wrinkles are okay. But I do want to make sure that I can bend it closed. And I'm going to take the craft knife. And now I'm going to take scissors. I find those, and I had those too. Just to cut the napkin loose right here. So that the box lid moves freely. Okay. Our box has warped a little bit, looks like. But we'll fix that. Okay. And those edges will be fine. So now I'm going to pull the napkin up. That just allowed me to open the lid. I need to get back in camera. Hi, Mary. How are you? Thank you for coming. Hi, Kay. I'm moving the camera forward. Hi, D. Demas. KJ, I am using Scotch glue stick, and I just use it to hold the napkin down, and then I'm going to put varnish over the top of it. But it allows me to maneuver my napkin. Hi, Debbie. How are you? Thank you, Mary. It's one that I got in a Happy Mail from Tanya in New Zealand. And she gets hers from AliExpress, so, which is great because I know how to get them again. And I'm sticking to my napkin. And I want to put glue on this part and glue over here. Okay. And I'm just going to pull this over. And I don't like that many wrinkles, so I'm going to pull it back. Wrinkles are good, but we can avoid some of this. And that's why I like the glue stick, because you do have the option to very carefully pull your napkin back up. Okay. Going to flip our box frontward. If I have to piece the bottom, I will. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. Now, how did I measure this and it work? Oh, that's going to wrap around. And that's going to come, because I wouldn't have cut those flowers off. Well, when I measured my napkin, y'all, it worked. It will work. Yep, we may have to piece the bottom, but I'm okay with that. Okay, let's see. I think I want to do the sides first. So I'm going to carefully stand this up. That glue stick's about empty, so switch it out. You go through a lot of glue sticks doing this. And I'm very close to the camera. Let me raise it up. It's just going to sink back down. Carefully pulling that around the corner. I'm going to glue, glue, glue. Okay. I do not need, I want a little bit to tuck under. Well, I don't want it to tuck under. No, I don't. So I'm going to cut it off right even with my box. We can put ribbon down the corners if we need to. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it over and do the same procedure on this side. Carefully pulling the napkin back. And then carefully putting it together, and I'm going to, again, but I figured this was something most of us could do because, like I said, we all, or a lot of people, subscribe to the Instant Ink program from HP. And I lost a piece I cut off a second ago from the other side. But anyway. And so it gives us something to do with their boxes. Okay. Well, I may need that piece and I lost it. I'll find it in a minute. It will turn up. Okay. Before I do that, I'm going to wrap this over the box. Let me free my corner on both sides. There we go. And am I on camera? And I'm going to lower the camera back down, guys. I see more people came in. Thank you for coming. Okay, whoops. I'm going to put this down. And I'm going to then go over it with glue very carefully because I want that other piece, when I pull it forward, to stick to it. I'm going to pull this one, and I got these little taggy parts. Let me cut that off. We don't need that. I'm not going to worry about that one. And I'm going to go over this with some glue. And unstick my fingers. Now I can pull the napkin forward. Wait. It didn't pull tight. Okay. Now this is where I measured this before I decided to cut those flowers off to use as an embellishment, and it measured, but it's not measured correctly now. So I'm just going to stick a little piece under here. It's the bottom of the box. I'm not worried about it. And I will stick another little piece on the other side. I really wanted the big flowers for the top of the box, so I was more worried about that. But I did measure, and I'm like, yeah, it'll work. As we see, no, it didn't work. But that's okay. I already did it, so now we're going to just deal with it. Okay, now I'm going to pull this over. Smooth it all down. I'm going to cut that edge off. And I'm going to apply glue to the top. I'm going to cut this edge off. It's just sticking to me. And I lost the glue still. There it is. And I'm going to put some glue on here. It's a little air pocket. And if you don't get the air pockets out now, guys, it's going to be too late because when you put the varnish on it, your air pockets are there. Poke a hole in it, get rid of the air. See, it's got the air pocket. You pull it back up. Okay. And that's not sticky, so I'm comfortable with sitting it down like this. I know we don't need this little part right here, so we're going to cut it off. And I may have more trimming to do after this, but for now. Okay, and I'm going to glue, oh, I want the ribbons on top. So, in this case, we're going to glue the flappy part down first. But I'm going to go on and apply glue to the whole thing. And now I'm going to have a nice little box when this is done to put my embellishments in as I make journals. My little envelopes and things I make. And a lot of times I'll make them blank and decorate them. So it's a great place to put, like, you know, anything blank that you make. And then you can decorate them. Okay, and now I'm going to put glue here. And here. And I'm sticking. And I'm going to smooth that down. Make sure that this stays stuck and doesn't pull forward. And I'm going to check chat in just a minute. I just wanted to get this all adhered. Okay. And I need to trim that better. I'm thinking what I'm going to do. My box had a little kinky in it. Try to get these air. See, and I see the air pockets. I think I'm going to wrap ribbon around this edge here. It won't stop the box from closing because we cut the flap off. So we got plenty of room. There's air pockets under there. The air pockets can be your, oh, that's because there's a slip there. Okay. So this all needs to dry before I apply anything else to it. Okay, and I'm going to check the chat while we're waiting on our box to kind of dry. I like it, though. I think it's very pretty, even where we had to piece it, but that's the bottom. So I'm not, like I said, I'm not too worried about that. Thank you, Mary. Thank you, Dee Dee. I appreciate it. It is getting cold now. We have had a major weather change here, and I think that's what helped contribute to my sickness. Being, you know, getting that whatever bug was going around, and then on top of that, the weather change. It was bad. Oh, Mary, your fall journal is pretty with the sunflowers and stuff in it. Thank you, Debbie. I've noticed on some, Sherry, I can answer that. I have noticed on some live streams that yes, you can hear the computer fans running. But I think that's, you know, the closeness of the laptop to where the camera may be. Some of them you can't. I don't hear the cooling fans, but on some I do. It's not bothersome. I just know it's their computer cooling fan has kicked in. So, I mean, it's not really bothersome. Right. And so, like, when I get, hi, Joe, thank you for coming. When I get the camera figured out with the laptop, my laptop has to sit on a cooling system. I mean, I would never sit here for 2 hours with a laptop on my tabletop and not have the cooling fan, a cooling fan under, the cooling platform under the laptop, because you're just asking to bring your laptop up. So if that's something that can be heard, because it'll get me from recording on my phone. But if you can hear those fans running, that's something I would apologize for, but it's something that's, part of filming on a laptop, in my opinion. Right. Some microphones do silence out the background noise so that it would silence the background noise that you would still be able to be heard, but the background noise wouldn't. So it depends on the microphone as well. Okay, Joe. Okay, Mary. See you when you come back. You're back and she's up. Yeah, I don't know what it is here. We had those storms come in last night from the hurricane. We got a lot of rain and wind, but nothing major here, being that we're in central Alabama and they went more up toward, from the coast through Georgia. But it was only like in the 70s yesterday here. And our box is still a little sticky. I'm going to use the heat gun on it. So it's going to be loud for a minute. I apologize. Hey, Nick, over there under that table is where my varnish is, but it needs more in the bottle. If you don't mind doing that for me, please. And there goes some air bubbles popping up. Okay, I think we're dry, and hubby is going to refill my varnish bottle because I'm at the bottom. And I have trimming to do. I think before we varnish, I'm going to go ahead and paint the inside so that I can be putting the E6000 on this and be letting that dry while we work with the outside. So let's get that purple. And I use these can lids. We have a can opener that's one of those safety ones, and I use the can lids as my paint palettes. And this is Walmart paint. I'm going to end up spilling my water if I'm not careful. And so we're just going to coat the entire inside of our box and careful around the napkin in purple pretty paint. I love purple. It is my favorite color. Oh no, I stuck because my hand got wet. But I didn't do damage, so we're good. This would just let me get the inside prepped and done. I hope I'm on camera. And done so that I can glue that in. And it can be drying while we work on the outside box. And it's going to probably need 2 coats. So how many of y'all are subscribed, just out of curiosity, to the or any subscription boxes? Because any subscription boxes could be done this way.
Okay, so you know, I have to wait 24 hours so I can get my weed. It has knocked me out of live streaming, and I have to verify. And it says ready in 24 hours.
Yeah, well, we'll play with mine when I'm done.
So I don't know if the updates I got are correct. They should be.
He's over there playing with the camera. Joe and I are wanting to do Google Hangouts and a couple of other people, and I can't, it's hard to do it from your phone. It can be done, but you can't see chat. All you can do is craft and talk. So I'm hoping that once we get the camera set up, which a good Samaritan provided me with the camera. It came in a Happy Mail with no information, so I can't even thank whoever sent it because they just sent it. True Happy Mail. Have no idea who sent it. And so it goes. It's going to take 2 coats. I got gesso in here.
Should be able to do.
But I would rather do 2 thin coats than one really thick. It's going to take forever to dry coat. I'm trying not to get, I don't want any paint. I don't want to get paint on my napkin.
Got a major stain going.
We'll pull it out and then refill.
Here, you need craft skin?
That's gross. He's trying to be funny.
Polyacrylic's not.
Now, because I did cut the 2 flowers off, I could put one on the inside and here in the middle, and it would be gorgeous when you open the box, like a little surprise. Okay, I'm going to go back to the, flip my little box back around. Inside of our box. Tilt it where I can see. Okay. This is going to be very pretty. Should probably stir that really good, baby.
I think you can really stir it much, but I'm working on it. Maybe if I stir it.
And back here. And then once I get this painted while it's drying, I'm going to look at chat and we can talk for a minute. Okay. So this needs to dry really good. I'm going to go wipe this stuff off, wash this stuff off my hands and get some wet paper towels, and I'll be right back.
roll kind, yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I can find to start with.
What is it?
That's fingernail file.
Oh Lord, I use those for stuff.
This is my fingernail file collection, not yours. It worked good.
Good. I had popsicle sticks, you know. I have
I
crafty
didn't know you
sticks.
had any more.
Maybe I have a whole bunch. Okay, I'm back. And my hands aren't all sticky anymore. But I still got paint on them. I just wanted the sticky off.
And what's going on out of this?
Okay. Hi, Shannon. Thank you for coming. And welcome. Thank you, Mary. I love purple. And that's a nice, bright, like gemstone color purple. The color of it, Mary, is, it just says violet. It's simply acrylic from Walmart. They're De La Rowney's. And it's just called violet. But it's a really pretty, deep, gorgeous purple. Thank you, Marina. Hi, crafty lady. How are you? We are waiting on the inside of the box to dry. I may run the heat gun again. Because I wanted it to dry so I could glue the magnet, which I have lost, to the inside with E6000. And that could be drying while I'm working on the outside of the box.
Okay, something I didn't realize.
What?
You had a little bit of scum on the bottom, drying stuff. So I didn't get it out of the bottom. I just thought it was around the edge, around the glass.
Mm-hmm.
So it may be in your.
Okay, that's nice.
I'll clean the lid up here in a second.
Thank you, Crafton lady. So I'm going to run the heat gun for just a moment so I can get this all dry, and I may need to go back over. Let me do that first. I didn't think it was going to matter that I got gesso on the lid, but evidently it matters that I got gesso on my lid. Because that's some white gesso and it's just poking through. So before I run the heat gun, let me see if I can cover these white splotches up where I got the gesso on there. That looks much better. I'm going to see if I can just tap it. I may have to do that after I dry it. So that one spot or a couple of spots in the lid, that's fine. Turn it on. I may should have painted the whole thing with gesso first because this is drying really dark. Although it looks pretty on camera. Okay. That is dry, so I'm going to see if I can prop that up so y'all can see what I'm doing. I'm going to take E6000 and I'm going to put this magnet in the middle, sort of, right about there. I'm not worried about it being blue. It's the inside of my box. If you're worried about it being blue, like now the one for the outside of the box I'm painting. Hi, Ashley. How are you? And I need pliers because my E6000 top is stuck. Oh, dear. Mr. Muscle Man.
You ain't got any pliers?
I do not. The hubster is going to open this for me. Evidently, I had E6000 on it when I closed it last on the outside. And this stuff sticks. This does need another coat of purple. But that's going to be for the outside. Well, I'm glad to hear that, Ashley. I'm doing much better. Thank you. I'm going to close up my gesso so it doesn't dry out or get spilled everywhere. Well, I had a set on this table, but as you see, we're not going to try to find those.
The red handle one?
There's some over there by the toolbox. My toolbox. Or on the corner table, there's a stack of tools. Oh, no. I see them. They're orange handled. Do you see them?
No.
Against the wall, stacked up on the boxes. Nick, bead boxes on the wall by the table. Nope, you're not on the wall by the table. Right in, there you go, orange handled plier things. He found them. Yay, husband. Hi, Christine. How are you? Well, I don't know where yours are, and I only have little ones.
I got one sitting right here, I thought.
Yeah.
Sticking out.
I could open a new E6000, but I don't want to do that. That's a full bottle or tube. So what I'm thinking about doing, I cut out these from the sides of the napkin, which is why we had to piece it a little bit. But this one I wanted to put on the front like that. I'm out of camera shot. And I'm thinking I could cut this one the same way and put it in here. So when you open the box, so I can do that while I'm waiting to get the E6000. Oh, now we have E6000. Yay, thank you. Okay, so I'm applying it to the magnet because that's how I want the magnet against the box. And I'm going to set that down while I close my tube because when I've noticed when E6000 is full, it oozes. Okay. And this is totally a guesstimation of where to put your your button, your magnet. And I'm going to set it. my box open. I'm just going to press it into place for a minute and let it grab. And then we can continue to work on that. I'm going to cut this out a little bit to go on the inside of the box, so that we just have a pretty little decoration on the inside of our box. And I save all these little bits that I'm cutting off because they make great envelope embellishments or tuck spot embellishments. And since I have a lot of purple stuff to make for my Etsy store, and these are purple, they will come in handy for the purple things. There we go. So I'm just going to set that aside. I had some other little ones from the previous piece that I'm not saving. Oh, my magnet slid. Pull it back and squish it down. I didn't even catch that it was a sliding. And I did already check to make sure that they would hold, and they will hold. Thank you, Ashley. I'll talk to you later. Have a great day. Hi, Tina. I'm glad you're doing good, Christine. Hi, Ann. How are you? Thank you, Christine. It's a napkin. Hi, Tanya. How are you today? Thank you for coming in. I'm using one of your napkins, Tanya. Tanya's the one who sent me this in Happy Mail. So I am using it to decorate and alter a box. I am doing much better. I was sick, which is why I was absent, but I'm back on schedule. Back to doing the lives on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So Saturday at 2 Eastern, we'll be back. And I have another altered project, another embellishment storage idea. So, oh, and y'all, I got my sunflowers painted from the other day, the polymer clay ones that we made. And this is how they look when they're all painted. So I got those painted and they're ready to be used on envelopes or, I wasn't worried about the back because I'm going to glue them down. Tags, envelopes, page corners. I could glue a paper clip to it and it could become a paper clip embellishment. So just different things with those. I don't like how this is rounded. I'm going to do the same thing I did on, or how it's got a straight edge on it. So I'm going to cut around my leaves a little bit.
There you go.
Thank you. Now I have the polyacrylic.
You're almost upset. I'll get you. You're glossy.
Thank you. I use polyacrylic for my sealer over my napkins. Really, I use it for everything. Because it's friendly with polymer clay. It can be baked in the oven. So if you do polymer clay, you can actually varnish and seal. Put it back in the oven if you have to, and the polyacrylic is safe. So that's why I like it. I can use it for all my crafting needs. And I just get it at Walmart. Just make sure if you're going to use it on polymer clay that you get the water-based one. Because the oil-based one is not polymer clay friendly. So there's that one ready to go. And I got rid of its little straight edge by cutting around the leaves. Make sure that's not going to slide around again. I'm going to sit here and hold it for a minute. Once it grabs, though, it grabs. We just got to give it a minute to grab. I also have been playing with my sewing machine. So I can quit making stuff want to fall over here. And making these kind of embellishments. And these are too big to fit in my box. Well, they'll fit in there corner to corner. Or they can bend a little bit. So I just made this with coffee dyed paper, a piece of gingham paper, some ribbon, and some little paper flowers, which I shrank. And then I made a little small one on a leftover piece of burlap. So that's been being fun because I haven't ever, been able to do that before. So crafting is all about fun. Hoping that will stay. I'm gonna set it up and we're gonna check it in a second because I don't want it to slide around again. And okay. So now what we're gonna do, once I verify that's not, oh, wait a minute, I didn't verify. Oh, the flap's going on the outside. We're not tucking it in. So it's gonna close like this and we're gonna put the other magnet. I'll make sure that they were to glue it. I'll be able to check that and I'll put a mark or something. So it's going to close like this. The magnet's going to hold it closed. And then this one will act like a knob when I get them lined up. They're lined up. It was working before I put the glue and stuff on here. Oh, it's not holding. It held before. See, it jumps right there. Why is it not holding? But it's closely centered. Now, I checked this, and they were strong enough to hold. I bet it's the E6000. I will bet that has something to do with it. So how can I fix that? I know. I'm not going to put it in the middle, only on the outer edges. So I'm wiping it off. See what I can do about getting it out of the inside of my box. Carefully out of the inside of my box. Because I'm thinking that was the problem. Because when I tested it, y'all, I tested it this way. And as you see, well, it's not holding it closed now either, but that's the E6000 is still in there. Nick, it's not holding. I'm going to need your little magnets. Or at least one of them, please, so I can get it glued in. I've got a stronger magnet that I'm going to put in here. I'm still going to use this one on the outside. The E6000 is stopping it from working. Nick.
I know, I'm just saying.
So,
available to everybody.
I'm going to go with the stronger magnet, and this will work. I'm still going to put this one on the outside, just not this one on the inside. It happens.
You gotta make sure that you get this on the right side.
Well, I'm so glad you're feeling better, Tanya. Oh, thank you, Anne. Thank you, Christine.
Sure you put the right side against the back.
Oh, I know.
Check the magnet. There you go.
Okay.
The one that touches the magnet is the one you need. There you go.
I need this side to be glued. Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Make sure you get the right one.
But it's more powerful, so E6000, we just have to now wait for this one not to slide around on our box. Can you close this before it's oozing?
Yeah. No, I can unooze it.
So I do have a mark where the other one was, and I'm just going to set that one down there. Oh, that works great. Now, Nick, just so people will know, where did you get your magnets?
I don't know where they came from.
I know that Joe buys small magnets like that at Harbor Freight. Let's have at it.
You need 2 strong magnets. It's not super strong, just strong enough.
Oh, no, Christine. I can't wait to see what he said. I know, Tanya, and that's why we were making Christmas ornaments with polymer clay the other day. And I thought of you because you always like to watch the polymer clay ones. But I did make some Christmas ornaments with polymer clay, and there's more Christmas ornaments coming in the future. And I still have the Halloween book, and we're probably going to work in the Halloween book on Saturday. Oh no, I said we were going to do the other version of this. Well, we may do more than one craft. There's no law that says we can only do one craft at a time. I don't think. There's not a rule either. And if there is, we're going to break it. So I'm just letting this set real good before I go to varnishing my box. I use the glue stick only to hold the napkin in place. And that's something I learned from Tanya. I use it only to hold my napkin in place before I put the varnish on it. And the varnish is my sealer and everything. I'm hoping we can prevent, you know what? That might prevent it from sliding, and I'll coat that part in a minute. Oh. Okay, let me get the heat gun out of our way, because I cannot heat gun the varnish because it will bubble. Okay. And I'm going to put these on after I get one good coat of varnish on here. The little decorations. Oh, let me move my brush. It's horrible. It's got purple on it. We don't want no purple in our varnish color. And it's still got purple. Hang on, y'all. I'm going to go run it under the faucet. Get all the purple out of it. I don't want purple in the varnish at all. Okay, now we are clean. So I'm just going to take the varnish. And this is going to be thin coats. And oh, see, I got purple. Where's my napkin? My wet paper towel. Wipe that off right quick. I just won't press it hard next time. Now I'm just going to brush lightly back the other direction to try to eliminate brush marks. Okay. This is how I do my glue paper. I'll paint the paper first and then apply glue stick. And then I varnish over top of it. Or my napkin paper, glue paper. But this is how I make napkin paper for covers of books. Same thing. And I got a glove. There we go. And this is going to get more than one coat. I don't want to bend that just yet. So I'm going to come over here. See where I need to trim that off. And I'll trim that in a minute after we put this coat on here. And I'm going to get this, if I can get my box to hold steady. The edge right there. And I'm going to get this little side over here. sure I get that edge that I can't see what I'm doing. And pull that little piece of paper off. There we go. And I didn't do the bottom, so I can set it down on the bottom. And our magnet's holding good. And I want to open and close that a couple of times. Okay. Now we just need to let this dry. And it doesn't take this long to dry at all. And I'm just going to stick my brush on this damp moist paper towel. And then we'll coat the front side with the magnet. I think we got that side and the bottom. And let me go back to chat. Hi, how are you, beautiful, awesome? Thank you for coming. I do polymer clay, Christine, and I made the other day, while we're waiting on this to dry. Pardon my reaching across. These are not Christmas related, but I'm making a sunflower journal in the near future. So I went on while I was playing with polymer and made my sunflowers and painted them. And these were made with white. Let me just get my little box. And this is why I need an embellishment box, y'all. Because I got this in another dish. We made snowmen. We made little cameo ornaments out of a mold. Unpainted snowmen. I haven't painted them yet. Another painted one. And these are going to go in the Etsy store in little groups. A Santa Claus that we painted with gel pens before I baked it. He was just stamped onto the clay, just so we had the lines, and then I gel penned him and then baked him. Another little cameo one with candy canes. Another bells. This one's made with translucent clay so that you can see the difference between translucent or transparent clay. I think they call it translucent. And this is all Primo and the white. And I kind of like that one better. A gingerbread boy painted. A Santa Claus. This one was a stamped in image and then painted. This is another stamped in image that needs to be painted. Oh wait, maybe I'm wrong. This one, I'm sorry, I apologize. This one was done with the pens and color pencils after baking. This is the one that was done before baking. So there's a little bit of a difference. And this one has more texture from the pens on raw clay. And I forgot to poke him a hole. We have little elves. That's an unpainted elf. Another gingerbread dude. A snowman. I made one hand-carved tree. I didn't have a mold for a tree, so I hand-carved that one. We made some snowflakes. These we put glitter in. This is opal clay. It comes with the glitter already in it. This one I did on transparent clay and put glitter on top of it. And that's what that one is. And that's an opal clay. Transparent with glitter and blue painted on it. I did a rose with the markers before painting. This one was done with the opal clay and I went over it with Rub and Buff. And now it needs to have a glitter coat put on top of it so it gets the glitter back. Another transparent clay with glitter on it and went over with blue. And one last little, it's a tree of those. So that's what we did the other day. I got to get them all painted and get them loaded up in the Etsy store in their little groups or their little sets. But we're going to do some more polymer clay. So, I really like the snowman and the gingerbread man. I think they came out really cute. And I really like my sunflowers. And those were done with cutters. Except for the ones that were stamped. Thank you, Christine. about the napkin and the snowman. The snowmen, I love them. And I was saying, let me grab one of the painted ones. Okay. If you have dagger beads, which I do, a dagger bead where this is, it's indented where the orange is. I painted it, but a dagger bead glued in there because I put little 8-0 seed beads on this, or 11-0 seed beads for their eyes, and glued those on. So I think a little dagger bead, like one of the mini dagger beads laid right in there, would make a cute carrot because they're wider at one end and pointy at the other. So I was thinking about that. Ways to use the beads I have. I'm also wanting to try using some of my yellow dagger beads, and I have a brown round bead. And make sunflowers out of the beads. I don't know how that's going to work, but I want to try it. We're almost dry. But it's still not quite all the way dry. My box. Did I do the bottom? No. Why does that feel wet then? I don't know. But my box. Oh no, it's wet from that. Okay. Oops, I hit the camera. I'm going to turn it. I think we're safe. And let's see, what side did we didn't do the side with the magnet being held on it. And we didn't do the bottom. I don't know that we did those sides either. We did the top and stuff. I don't know what we did. I know we did the insides. Oops. I think we're safe to pull this off. Yep. It did its job. Okay. So now I'm going to put a thin coat on the bottom. See, and so the glue that we put down, the glue stick, did its job. It held the napkin in place. And it was already dry when we're putting this on. And it gives me time to get my varnish on here. And I always tear my napkins if I try to decoupage them. Well, not always, because we're about to decoupage some flowers, but I have a hard time with decoupaging napkin. But the glue stick works for me. So I use the glue stick method. Just coat that. How am I going to do this? Because that's not dry. I'm going to have to hold it. And we're going to put a coat on here. And this is going to get another coat, you guys. It's not done. I'm probably going to also coat the inside, but I can do that off camera. And there's a little hanging down part. Push that out of there. I'm going to go back over my little edges while I have it tilted that way. And we just did the bottom, right? Yes, we did. But it's almost dry. I'm sure we did this side. Okay, I am going to tip it like that to dry. And I'm going to put my paintbrush back in damp paper towel. So what do y'all think of the box? You can do napkin transfers onto polymer clay. I've done that, and I'll be glad to show y'all how to do it. So like any kind of a napkin transfer. If you have an inkjet printer, not an inkjet, I'm sorry, laser jet printer, you can take your laser jet image. We're going to pretend this is polymer. Lay it on your polymer clay after you print it. Burnish it really, really well. You just burnish, 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 burnish. And it will transfer. You can then peel it off And you don't have to, I'm not talking burnish it where you're leaving marks. I'm talking just rub it down on the clay, you know, really well. And it will transfer the image to the polymer. Some people bake it with the image on there and then pull the paper off after baking. I have some magic transfer paper that came already printed with an image on it from, oh my word, I'll have to look it up. Kira and Alyssa have a channel on YouTube, and they have a store. Polymer Clay TV. If you type that in, that takes you to their channel. And Polymer Clay TV has a store, and they have magic transfer paper. And their paper, you can also print on their paper. You can buy it blank, but I purchased a pre-printed design. You rub it on. You take your clay. Do you bake it first? No. You rub it on the clay. There's videos on it. I have to watch a video again. It's been a while. Anyway, you rub it on the clay. And then you just use water to remove the backing. And then you bake it. Because you can color on it with color pencils and stuff. So you can transfer an image. And I have transferred. Now, the napkin images, when you transfer those, you bake it with the napkin on it. Once it's baked, you run it under water to remove the paper, and you still use a peeled napkin. So that's something we can maybe do on a video, because that is fun, and I've done it. I know it does work. And there's people who make bookmarks doing that. Thank you, Tanya. I can definitely do a video on it. Butterflies. I have, you know, we all have butterflies on napkins. Those would be great with the words, and you could make different things for your, you know, just embellishments. You could make bookmarks for Christmas. You could do a tag, different things out of the polymer clay with the transfer from the napkin on it. And it's not my idea. Polymer Clay TV does them. No, I don't think they do the napkin transfer. Who does that? It's been a while since I've watched any Polymer Clay videos, but I don't remember what her name is. But she does have a video on it. I'll look it up before I do that. But I'll add that on my list of things to do, because they are cool. And can you imagine this on a polymer clay, just like a little circle with this on it? So you can make little polymer clay buttons, because you could take a circle, put this on it, take your awl and poke your little holes in it. And there you would have like a little button that you've made that no one else has as an embellishment. There's all kind of things that we can do. What I'm trying to do, coming from, and I'm going to, while I'm waiting and talking, I'm going to repaint this because it didn't take very well. It needs more than one coat. And my purple's about, this purple Lumiere paint's about to run out. Okay, maybe it's beyond about to. But anyway, what was I saying? Now, see, I got sidetracked and lost. That's normal. There's all kind of things. Oh, that's what I was going to say. There's all kind of things that you can do with the polymer. And I came from beading first, but the thread started irritating my fingers. I was beading so much, making so many things. My fingers were staying peeling and bleeding and horrible. So I quit beading for a while. And I went to polymer clay and was trying to do, because I was doing a lot of assemblage. If you look at my jewelry that's on my Foxy's Creations page on Facebook, it's not a group. You can just follow the page. I do post there when I'm going live. There's some jewelry on there. I was making assemblage, which is a lot of what we do in what we're doing. When you put stuff on a tag, that's the same thing as assemblage in jewelry, except we're using an oval brass plate versus a tag in journal making. So it's the basic same thing. So I was doing assemblage jewelry, do with the polymer clay. Love the polymer clay. But then I stumbled onto paper crafting back in April. And I mean, I stumbled. Something showed up in my recommended. Actually, it was Creeples. It was Melissa from the flock doing Creeples that showed up in my recommended list. And I went and watched that. And that's when I got into paper crafting. I only had a few videos on my channel before that. Now I have several and a lot. I didn't have hardly any subscribers. So my channel has grown very fast. And I love this. So my goal is I want to find a way to incorporate beads and polymer and stuff into the journals, if possible. And that's why I was thinking this would be possible. It's not much, it's not any thicker than a paper flower. And it can be glued flat. So I was thinking we put paper, excuse me, we put paper flowers in our journals, and we put other embellishments that are about this thick. So we should be able to put these. So that's where that idea came from. We're still a little tacky. That's looking very pretty. And it needs to, I'll varnish over the top of that as well when it's dry. So is that something that you all would want to see, is where we combine different mediums? I mean, to me, that's what mixed media is. It's not just paper and paint and things. You know, I want to do mixed media where I have paper and paint and beads and polymer and whatever else I can kind of think up to throw in there. Okay, y'all, I will definitely do a video with the transfers, napkin transfers. I don't have a laser jet printer, or I would show you that. But I had to, for a class I took through Polymer Clay Adventure. One of the classes was transferring images on clay, and it was our own hand-drawn, like, graphic images. I drew them, and then hubby went to town and had them laser printed at Blunt Office, which is our local office supply store. They have a laser printer, and they made me some laser printers so I could do the class. But other than that, that's the only way I would have to do a laser print.
No, that was.
It was for Polymer Clay Adventure.
It was laser. Yes, it was laser. You're right.
Now, I may have him go get me maybe one sheet of something pretty
Until I can buy you one.
that we could practice laser jet or laser printer transfers on clay with, for those of you who have a laser printer. They're just expensive, but they have their good points, as the ink don't run. However, what I do for my ink is I have, what did you buy me? Krylon matte spray in clear, which it is, you know, and I spray my inkjet printers. If I'm going to glue them down with something, or Mod Podge them, I will spray them first to seal the top. I turn them over and spray the back really good. They still run some, but not like they would if they weren't sealed. So I've done that to seal my images, and it works just as good, and it's way cheaper than laser printers and laser ink. But 20 cents, and she charges, I think, 20 cents a page to print one out. I can, you know, send him a picture to print out of something pretty. Flowers, butterflies, something. Check in, because I know this needs another coat. Let me heat gun it from a distance. I just don't want to bubble my varnish. But I'm also impatient. And it really does need another coat. And I have a solution for this once we get the coats on here that we need. And that's dry on the inside. Yeah, we got to get this dry. Okay, I think what we're going to do is, oh, I got to make sure I get this right side up, huh? That would be helpful. We are going to go ahead and glue this in here while we're waiting on the rest of our box to dry. And I'm doing it so that y'all can see what I'm doing. So we're going to use the glue stick again. That's not the good one. That's the one that's almost empty. The Scotch ones turn green. At the bottom, they're a greenish blue color. Okay. And trying to see where I'm going to put it. Uh-oh. I won't be so rough with my napkin. I didn't get enough glue in the right spots. So just go over the top of it. Okay, I'm going to heat gun that to dry it, and then we can put our varnish coat over that. That's very pretty, I think. Okay, that's good. Now I'll just take a little bit of varnish, and we're going to brush over it to seal it down. And just because I don't want just varnish over my flour, I'm going to varnish the whole inside of the lid so it matches, because that would be weird looking. So this will all match when it's open. And this is a semi-gloss varnish. So it's going to have a little bit of a sheen to it, but not bad. Uh-oh, what happened? There we go. That was just glue or something. Okay, put that back in my wet paper towel. And it bubbled up just a little, so I'm going to just tap it back down. But it's not tacky, so we're just going to leave that. Okay. I do want to put one more coat on the outside of the box, though. So, we're going to start. I'm going to start up here so that the corner can dry. I'll be working on it while I do the rest of the front flap. Y'all may be able to hear the dog snoring. It's Miss Muffet. She does snore. Lately, on every live stream, she snores. I'm just going to lightly go back over it. And do this little front flappy part. And then our box will be very well sealed and usable. And we won't have to worry about it getting wet or anything. Go back down here and do these little side edges. And as y'all can hear, I'm not being gentle with my box. That got dry already. I'm going to do one more quick coat. It's because I put it on really thin, which is good. Okay, now I'm going to leave this here for just a moment. I'm going to go get some purple ribbon. Be back. Turn it down, babe.
I will.
So here's what I was thinking, and I'm not going to put it on here just yet, is running this lace down here so that when the box is closed, it hides these little spots. Or ribbon. It's actually ribbon. And it's from the Dollar Tree. Oh, great, Christine. Thank you. That's somebody to check out. Thank you, Gloria. No, I don't spray my paper before printing. I print what I'm going to print on it, and then I will take it, and I will lay it. I have a table on my deck that I lay my papers on. I lay them down. I spray them really good. Wait for them to dry. I will flip them over and spray the back. And sometimes, just depending, I will go back and spray another coat on the front, depending on whether I think it needs another coat. But that's, and that seals in. You don't want them to be, if you spray them too much and you get them too wet, your ink will run from you spraying them. So you want to do light coats. And that's why sometimes I'll go back and add a second coat on the front. The Mod Podge can sometimes leave it sticky feeling or tacky. The varnish doesn't do that. Also, I'm not sure Mod Podge is waterproof once it's dry. I'm not sure if it would reactivate. I know my varnish does not reactivate. It takes 24 hours to cure, and it's cured, and it's sealed. So that's why I use the varnish versus the Mod Podge, because I'm not sure if you get Mod Podge wet, is it going to reactivate and get sticky. So that's why I use the varnish for stuff like this, because it seals. Hi, Crafty Kitty. How are you? Thank you for coming. So I'm just letting... Let's do this. I'll blow over the top of it. Instead of directly on it because I don't want to make air bubbles. And once we get the lace on here or the ribbon, it's going to be really, really pretty. And we have our little magnet knob to put on. And our little top centerpiece. And it's still a little tacky. This is how I make my napkin covers though, y'all. I use paper, the glue stick, and then, oh, we had a bubble. Oh, we don't want to bend our box top. Oh no. Oops, I forgot I was working on cardboard. Let me add a bubble. I make my paper for my books, my napkin paper. Let me show you one. I had one the other day. While that dries, I will find a napkin paper to show you. I had one over here, but I just don't want to create a craft-a-lunch. And we might be doing that. Where? Nick, can you come? Where's the other one of these blue? Oh, yeah. That's a pretty Santa Claus. Here's one. Okay. And this is Dollar Tree drawing pad. You get 40 sheets for $1. So it's the thinnest, cheapest possible paper. This is a napkin. I did not Mod Podge it. I put it down with the glue stick, just like we just did. Went over it with the varnish. It's very pliable, very bendable, and I even seal the back with the varnish. It's waterproof. And then that was only 2 squares of the napkin, so I applied the other 2 squares to book paper, same way. And it's very pliable, very bendable. I use it to make book covers, and that's right side up. I make book covers out of this, or journal covers, because it's so bendable and pliable. So, see, it's just very, and so that's why I'm doing the box this way, because I know this is going to be waterproof. I'm not sure with Mod Podge, like I said, if it would be waterproof or not. And I found my other piece of napkin. It floated to the floor that I cut off. There's a little flower we can save from the napkin. And I'm going to check chat. Oh, wow. That sounds interesting, Gloria. Oh, Tanya, that's funny. Dishes while you watch. That Dollar Tree drawing paper, I mean, it's 40 sheets for $1. And once you back it, it's really good paper. Okay, we are dry to the touch, but still cool. So we can move on. Okay, now we can do the bottom and the front. Our magnet's securely on there. We did that side, so. I'm just not laying it flat down because I know it's still cold to the touch, so it's still got some drying to do. And now I'm going to go back over it just to get rid of brush strokes. Okay. Yeah, that's dry. And we're going to go back over this. And like last night, I sat here and I cut out all kind of tags. And they're just in a stack. Once this box dries, I can put all those tags that I cut last night in my box. I now have a place to put them besides a Ziploc baggie, because that's usually where they go, into a Ziploc baggie. Okay, and I'm going to put this back in the damp paper towel to keep it moist. I know we just did these, so I'm not worried about them. And I think this is going to be our final coat. And let me do this. Let me coat our knob. Oh, that's pretty. And that brings out that metallic look. And set it down to dry. That's our magnet knob. I hope y'all are still here. And I got to flip the camera around because right now everybody's on the ceiling. Okay, it shut me out, y'all. The YouTube app does this every video just about. I will come back. I will come back. So y'all just need to wait when it happens. I'm off camera drying these edges. And I apologize, you guys. YouTube really needs to get this fixed. I mean, they really need to get this fixed. It's very frustrating because it's every live I get shut. The app closes at least once every single live stream. Okay. Now what we're going to do with our box is it's dry. We're going to applique our other napkin piece to the top of the box. And again, we're going to use the glue stick first. And I'm going to lay the box down so I don't bend it again. And we're going to put this going this direction. It feels kind of plastic coated at this point. The box does. It doesn't feel like a paper napkin anymore. And that's kind of what I go for. When it feels that way, I know we're pretty much got enough coats on it. I'm trying to get that centered. Let me turn my box around toward me for just a second while I center my flower. Or as close to center as I'm going to get it without measuring, because I'm not measuring. That looks good. Okay. That looks very good, and I'm going to just go over it with a light coat because we've already got on this one, like on the inside of the box, we had no varnish. We've already got varnish here. So this is just, I just need to adhere my flower that I just stuck on here and dry it. That is very pretty. Put my brush back in the wet paper towel to keep it wet and moist. Oops. Oh no, whoops. Okay, let me push that back. That other paper towel was not wet enough to do what I needed to do. I have a hair. I got it. No, maybe not. I have got a hair. Oh, that may be the edge. I don't know. Well, it's there. Nothing I can do about it now. I don't think. No, I don't want to mess up the box trying to get it off. But we're almost dry again. And we're making ink. It's making like little pock. Ouch. Inside of the box is hot. Make sure I'm not making the inside bubble up. Okay, that is very cute. And there is a hair. That's going to drive me insane. Where's those tweezers at? Let me see if I can get that off there without messing my box up. Right here. Finely pointed tweezer things. So, if I can get it off without messing up the box, I'm going to get it. But if I can't, it'll just be there as a decoration. I don't think I can get it off. Okay. So there's the top of our box. There's the inside of our box. There's our magnet. So now what we're going to do is we are going to remove the heat gun. I'm going to check chat, and I appreciate everybody that stayed while YouTube did their thing, their normal kick me offline thing. Where did there's our pretty purple one. Okay. What we want to do now is I want to do the ribbon or the ribbon. I'm going to glue it to this edge, but what's going to happen is it's going to cover, and it's because it's only going to be glued here. It's not going to affect this. So what I'm going to do is lay this thing down. And for this, we're going to use the weld bond. And let me check on chat, y'all. I get my varnish at Walmart. Is where we buy the polyacrylic. It's from Minwax. Rub wax on them and then it doesn't be sticky. Okay. Thank you, Tanya. So I get it at Walmart. It's just polyacrylic. It's in the paint department. Oh, no, Nick, it doesn't seal tight. And I just tipped the bottle and I got it everywhere. You need to fix that.
Needs a new bottle.
Well, we need to put it in a new jar then, because that one, I tipped it and it went everywhere. But I got it up. Yeah. Hi, Donna. Welcome. Thank you for coming. And I think everybody's been having a problem. Kathleen, the varnish, and thank you for coming, Kathleen. The varnish is Minwax polyacrylic. It's the water-based one. And I do water-based only because I do it with polymer clay. And it has to be water-based to be used with polymer clay. So it's Minwax polyacrylic, and that is satin finish. Thank you, Donna. I'm glad you like it. It is a recycled instant ink box because several people belong to Instant Ink with HP. you know, where you get so many pages a month, they send you your ink. I have several of these boxes. So I'm like, there's got to be something. So this one is going to hold my embellishments that I make for journals. So like envelopes, tags, paperclip beads, beady dangles, anything like that that I make. You know, even things that I cut out to decoupage. Those kind of things would go in a box like this. Or, and I may do this because I have several boxes. I can make one for tags, one for envelopes, one for ephemera, you know, that kind of thing. So that's an option. But it gives me a place to put things. And then the little box is pretty and it can sit about because it's a pretty little box. So, I'm still working on getting now this is Weld Bond. I get this also at Walmart. You can get it at Michael's and Hobby Lobby. I mainly used it for making polymer clay tile boxes. It glues the tiles to everything because it works on wood, glass, foam, stone, ceramics, and more. It also holds you. It's better than tacky glue, in my opinion. Weld Bond does not sponsor me in any kind of way. It's just a glue that I like because when it grabs, it grabs. And it's got this nice little tip on it. So I'm just going to put a very small, thin bead of glue. Right here where I want my ribbon to go. And I want the ribbon to overhang because I need it to cover that gap where the flap was. And we cut the flap off. And I need to make sure it's going to bend around that corner. And if it doesn't seem like I have enough, I'll go back and put a little bit more because it will stick. I mean, I use it in my journals. But I think I need to slide it. Oops. Over. Now what I want to do is just check to make sure. See, it's going to cover that gap. So we have the gap over here. We're going to fix that now. I just need to make sure it's going to bend around the corner. And let's see. And this is Dollar Tree ribbon. Okay. I want it to go up against the back wall. And I want to stretch it around the corner. And I'm going to snip those little edges off in a moment. Okay. Whoops. I grabbed a hold of it. Now, oh, that's not all the way to the back. Now's the time to fix it while you have playroom. And I want to move it over like that. Okay. Oh, it wouldn't close because that magnet grabbed a hold of the one inside the box. I'm like, what happened? It was closing a minute ago. So, our magnet needs to go there. And I'm going to put a little E6000 on it. And it should pull. Why does it keep wanting to slide up? I don't want it to slide up. I want you to be there. And I'm going to hold it in place so that it will quit pulling. Oh, here, let's straighten our box back out. Because we know it's right. Okay. We're almost done, guys. Then Saturday, we are going to work on another embellishment storage idea. And I'm going to use file folders for this one. And that's... Let me put some more glue down. Okay. And I want to snip that piece off. I think I got a hold of the box on that one. Let me just come this way. There we go. Snip that piece off. Make sure our ribbon is being held down good. I think I'm going to put a piece of ribbon across here too. Where did the ribbon go? Just to finish the box off. I think it's turning out very pretty. And no one would ever know it started out as an HP box. And I have some little pieces I'm going to have to cut off the edge right there. I will do that after this is dry. I don't know why that's sticking. It's got something on it. I wonder if my E6000 oozed onto my paper. I'm going to wipe that off. I don't like it. There we go. And let me move. If it's going to stick, let me move the wax paper. Oh, charger. Now, let me know if it buffers, because sometimes lately when I plug my charger in, my phone does weird stuff. Okay, let me lay that back down again. And I'm going to snip this little edge off over here. And I'm going to snip this little edge off over here. And what I might do to cover up where we have our corner pieces, I don't know if I want to, or I don't have any of the little, let's see, do I have tiny flower? Oh, I do. Right here, I've got two tiny pansy flowers. So, one of them on that corner. Let me cut this other one out. I'm getting rid of this straight edge, guys. And we could put one on that corner. I kind of like it, but I need to get rid of more of this napkin on this side. It just hides where the ribbon overlaps right there. So I think that's what we will do. So I need to put a little bit of glue stick. I think that's this one. Yep. Right there. And a little bit right there. And I closed up the polyacrylic. Oh. Which is still, I didn't clean the bottom of it off good. Okay. And I'm going to use a littler brush for this, because I don't need that big brush for these corners. And we're just going to brush over the top to adhere it down. And the cool thing is it ends up with the texture of the ribbon, the cross grains. So it looks like it's kind of part of everything when it's really not. Okay. Let me get the heat done real fast. Try to dry some of this fluidage. Move my napkin pieces out of the way. Oh, Lord, get that behind my lights because the lights are hot. Okay. I think we are good, guys. Is my magnet not right? There we go. And there's our box. What do y'all think? All finished at E6000, and these magnets don't like each other. There we go. So it stays closed. It's got a magnet on it. We've got all the little edges. I really think it's pretty. And we put the little pansies down here to cover up where the corners overlapped. There we go. A nice, and this can be our handle when it dries. Right now it's not all the way dry, but when it is, it'll be like the little handle to open the box with. So what do y'all think? Thank you, Tanya. Bye, crafting lady. Have a great day. Thank you, Kathleen. Thank you, Donna. I'm going to actually do that, Donna. The one moment, and I'll show you. Stack them in a cardboard box. That was my idea. Now I got to empty this box. I wasn't going to do that. It's got things. What can I put? So, Donna, a friend of mine belongs to Doodle Crate. And she saved me her last Doodle Crate box. So, this, I'm trying to be careful because it still may be wet, fits in the Doodle Crate box, or it will. I may have to find a bigger box. But something like this. Slide it in there, and then you could stack them and have multiples, and then you'd have like little drawers that you could pull out. But this box is a little snug. But, it might could go this way and has something else over here, you know, an opening or something. But I had thought about that, and this would be a good box to do it. Or this would make a bigger embellishment box. So, Katrine Hansen, she made little drawers out of her milk cartons and put them in a box. Because I have several of these boxes, and every month now, because I'm on a 300-page plan, they now send 2 boxes of ink a month. So, I end up with 2 of those a month. Oh, mine do too, Christine. The magnets, my husband found them at a Dollar Tree, and then a friend of mine from Iowa, her Dollar Tree's great. She sends me Happy Meal from Dollar Tree. Right. I do have cigar boxes, wooden cigar boxes. And that's what I used to make my polymer clay tile boxes out of. But you could do this same kind of thing. Oh, I bet the metal coffee cans, Donna, are awesome. Mine sells the wooden boxes for $3 a box, but that doesn't, it has nothing to do with the size of the box. So it's $3 a box. And they're wooden. So you can get boxes that way. If you don't, you know, have anything like this, an altered cigar box would work. I thought about that when I was looking at this one. Sherry, you use the weld bond glue? I'm going back through chat. Good night, Crafting Lady. Thank you for coming. That's Gloria. Thank you, Tanya. I may have to do that on the next one, but my mag it's stuck now, so I mean it's good. It's not got a gap anymore, so we're good. Oh, good, Kathleen, because it should work the same way. You just want to make sure if you don't want the design on your cigar box to show through Jesuit, paint it something. I know, I love Katrine. This is made, the company is, it says Steel Touch Weld Bond, so I'm assuming the company would be Weld Bond, Universal Adhesive. But it's made by Weld Bond, and it's a white glue, and it's great. Hi, Joyce. Thank you for coming. How are you today? So that is our altered box. And now I can put my tags in it. I'm trying to decide if I want to varnish the inside or not. I may, because I like the way that looks. So I may varnish the inside, but I can always do that off camera. I did want to add a piece of the ribbon across here. So let's do that real fast. just to cover up that edge. But I wanted to fold it over. I may do this off camera. It's going to be fiddly. It's going to be way fiddly. But I wanted to cover up that edge with something. So.
Oh, that's a cool idea. Cute little Christmas gift box.
Oh, they would. They would make very cute little Christmas gift boxes. And see, it does close with a magnet. We have the little knob on there. Oh, I didn't have it in the right spot because when I pushed it down, that thing grabbed. Okay, so we're good. So just, you know, instant ink box to pretty little box. So it just started out like this, but it became such a wonderful little thing. And no one would ever know if they got this for Christmas or for anything as a gift box that this is what it was to begin with. No one would know. Well, my people might, because they might watch my YouTube. My family. But they still, I don't think they would be able to tell what it was originally. You're so welcome, Sherry. I have not, but I just recently got some chalk paint. It has to be mixed. So we could try that and see what happens. I've got cigar boxes over there. I'm willing to try anything. So definitely we could try that and see what it does. You know, it might really work kind of like gesso because it's got that toothy feel to it. So it could do the same thing as far as providing a good base to adhere stuff to. Not that it's not good on its own, because chalk paint is very pretty. I really like how my knob turned out with the varnish on it and the metallic purple. And it's still kind of clear from that being clear to begin with, because remember, it started out this way. And we altered it. Oh, great, Kathleen. Right, so you could do that in here. Make a keepsake box and fill it with things people would use. Like if you know someone who's a tea drinker, you could put tea bags in their box, hot cocoa, just different, you know. It would make a great gift for something like, you know, like that even, putting different kinds of tea in, or different kind, you know, if you bought some jewelry or made jewelry for somebody, this would be a great box to put that in. So there's all kind of different things to do with these boxes. I love this napkin. I only had one. I just used it. I think I'm going to need to get some more from AliExpress. It's very pretty with the little pansies on it. But I think it turned out kind of cool. Journals, right, and that's what I was saying at the beginning. If you do small journals, I don't have one this small. It would be great to put a journal in here. And you've seen those journals where when you open the box, the journal opens. But it would be great if you did a small journal as a journal box to present the journal in. That would be a great thing. Or photos. Right, and these are gorgeous. And Tanya sent me these, and they are awesome. And you know what else? Y'all, Happy Mail. When you send out Happy Mail, sometimes sending Happy Mail in one of these with it before you cut the flaps off, you know, then the person who gets it could alter the box. Which is sometimes what we do with those flat rate boxes we get. Miss Elizabeth has a whole thing on altering those. That's Elizabeth Brewer. But this would make something pretty to send a Happy Mail in, and it would fit in a flat rate box so that when they got their Happy Mail, they would have this cute little box to keep. So that's another thing you could use these for. There's all kind of different things. to use them for. But I'm going to now be on the lookout for a box to stack my boxes in to make like little drawers. And Katrine, when she made hers, she put like little glider things for her drawers to sit on so they would actually pull in and out instead of just stacking one on top of the other. So I want to look for something similar. Oh, Donna, that's a good idea. Children's barrettes and bows. Marina, I started. Yes, I did see yours, Marina, where you put it in the box. That one that you made. Yes. And it was gorgeous. And this would work great for that kind of thing. This would be a good box for that. And I know, Marina, you altered the box completely. You didn't, you did yours your way, which was great. So, yes. And I did see that, Marina. You're right. And I did mention that while you were walking your dog earlier. So, but there's all kind of different things you could do them. Now, I'm going to do, like, I cut up all these tags last night. And this would be a great little box. So they fit in there, and bigger tags would go this way. And as I get them finished, I can put them back in my little box. So it's a great place that's what I made it for, was to put things I'm making for my journal. Because sometimes, like I know right now I'm working on a Rebecca of Sunnybrook Farm journal. I have the Halloween journal, and I have the sunflower journal that's coming up later on. I'm also going to be making one for my niece for Christmas. As I'm making those embellishments ahead of time and finding stuff to make embellishments with, each one of those having a different embellishment box would be great. Because then I can just put stuff from my niece's box or journal in a box. I can put stuff that goes to the Rebecca journal in a box, and things that go to my sunflower journal in a different box. So that was one of the ideas I had too, was different embellishment boxes for different things. Oh, Donna, that sounds like a good idea. I know, I love her dresser. Yeah, Barbie doll clothes. That's a good idea. Different things, yes. And y'all, if you haven't seen Marina's video where she did her journal in the box, subscribe to Marina, support her channel, and watch that video. That is awesome. I had seen a couple of other videos where they did them a little different, but I like the way Marina did hers. Not that there was anything wrong with the other ones, but Marina's looked easier to me to do than the other ones that look more complicated. So definitely watch Marina's video on how to do that. You will want to do that. So I guess that's it for today, y'all. We got our box started. We did this whole thing start to finish today. It's very pretty. Saturday, we're going to be doing the other embellishment idea I had with file folders. And it's like an embellishment storage idea, but we're going to use file folders for that. And we're going to decorate them again, probably with paper napkins. Bye, Donna. Thank you for coming. And I'll be back live Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern time, so the same time. And we're going to be doing another embellishment storage idea, because somebody may not want to use the storage box.
Donna needs to teach her dogs how to put laundry away.
So I'm going to get off of here, you guys. Thank you all for coming. I appreciate everybody's support. And I thank you for staying when YouTube kicked us off and waiting on me to come back. I will always come back. I've only had to start a new stream one time, but they really need to get that little glitch fixed. But thank y'all for coming. I hope y'all have a great rest of your day today. I was going to say weekend, but this ain't Saturday yet. This is Thursday. Maybe I'll see you in a live stream later, but I definitely will be back Thursday at 2 o'clock. Thanks. Have a great day. Bye, y'all.